Hello everyone, and today we're going to discuss Mein Leben, Wolfenstein the new Colossus. That was one of the hardest things I ever made in more than 20 years of my gaming experience. Not because it is some thing that is required a lot of fastest reflexes, not because it is require a lot of deepest knowledge and for you to be nerd. No. That's the necessity is in entirely other spectrum, okay? And I will tell you more about this one. This is about Mein Leben, and this is how what I get from it, what it taught me. Okay. So here we are looking at the footages I made, and here we see how I beat the last boss here. Whew, that was really close. Yeah. So this one was a really nice one. And the good thing here that I was able to beat the game. I was able to go till the end, in the middle of the working week, at the afternoon. I started at 6 p.m. and I finished around noon, midnight. And the good thing that after that I have the rest of the week in the mode of, oh gosh, I could do that, So the triumphant and the really nice mode, So, and I guess it is worth to move on to further and show you how the badge will actually appear. I'm showing you the footages because I made the recording previously, but I made this one on the PlayStation 5 Pro, and you can see those footages here. So here I'm waiting for those guys to finalize their terrorist job and I'm going to crack the skull of this not so good woman, let's say, okay? So because she made a lot of nasty stuff with us and with our friends, so with all those characters in the game who were decapitated and who were killed. And here I ran into her to kick her ass and head off. Basically, I will crack her skull right now. And you will see the achievement will pop up. But I believe the achievement will pop up this one. So, yeah, here we have new Colossus. But this Platinum. Here we have it. Sorry for reiteration, for repeatedness. So here we have I'm just walking. I know there are a lot of bad stories that you will fail to kill her here, but I don't think that it is realistic. So because if you get to this point, and here we have it in my Leben. That's as soon as you get to this point, you should be okay with just running onto her and killing her. It's pretty easy. 2 buttons basically. That's it. Let's start talking about the details and my impressions on this one. So, because this video will be particularly about and regarding the impressions I got from the Mein Leben run, and the next few videos I plan will be about the strategies and other interesting stuff. So keep in touch with me and I wish you to be updated, and let's go. Okay guys, so for those of you who don't know, Mein Leben, that's the hardest difficulty in Wolfenstein II, the new Colossus, okay? But it's not just hard. It's not just hard, tough stuff. No. It's completely different kind of challenge. So That's about one life. Permadeath, basically. No saves, no checkpoints. No. And from the first second until the last one, you should endure in a single run. Okay? If you die anywhere, and anyhow, at any point, you stun over. So if you fall over the out of bounds, if you would die because you're dumb, if you get back to the main menu, so you will ruin your Mein Leben run. And from the very beginning, you will start over again. A full run takes anywhere from 4 to 6 hours for the regular human being, not a speedrunner. That's 4 to 6 hours of our life, and that's a really grand investment of time and effort, so you should be prepared for that. And where a single mistake erases everything, where like each uncorrect action and move of your stick on the pad could ruin your run. Here we have the highest, the top points of human intelligence, patience, resistance, all of those high qualified skills we may would like to have, but obviously we have not enough developed in ourselves. So that's about Wolfenstein, boys and girls. Good. Here's the thing, basically. I'm not a shooter player, you know, and I never was. I love RPG, role player games. I love Metroid, you know. I love games that let you think, explore, and go to at your own pace. But when I played Wolfenstein, the New Order, which you can see right now, and so that was my first Wolfenstein, basically. I got this click, you know, the story, the atmosphere, the craft behind it, and I decided to get a platinum. I platinum it. Then I moved to the Old Blood. So here we have an Old Blood, a pretty wonderful sequel. Basically, it is like the prehistory of William J. Blazkowicz. And I platinumed that too. And then came the new Colossus. And with it, Mein Leben, naturally. Because at the point when I beat both New Order and the Old Blood, I realized that I heard about the Mein Leben difficulty, and I saw this guide, 10 out of 10 difficulty for the Mein Leben, and I walked through the guide, and I was really afraid. But when I beat both those games, I decided, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try, the new Colossus. And I didn't plan to do the platinum from the outset. But I had just proven to myself that I loved these games, all this series. And something in me said, let's find out what you actually made of. So, yeah, I kicked it off. So basically, I started to do that stuff. Okay, so here you will see one of the glitches which I trained to do from. I believe that's the first glitches I learned to do in this game. You will see how I'll jump through the wall right away. I believe I will have to do that twice. Yeah, the first attempt was unsuccessful, but the second one should be fine. So, to put it in the nutshell, 120 hours. That's how much... Oh no, actually I have to do 3. So third try charm, right? So that's how long I spent the new Colossus in total. 120 hours. Okay? That's basically almost 3 weeks of full-time job. And 60-70% of it I spent on pure training for Mein Leben. Okay? Here's what I did, basically. And this is my own approach, not something I found online, because there are a lot of bunch of strategies online. A lot of them are useful. Some of them not so useful. Some of them could be garbage. But I found something really safe and worthy for me. And I split the game into 5, and first of this approach, that's like iterative, rolling wave approach, I would say. I split the game into 5 or 6 segments. Okay. First 3 levels, next 3 levels, and so forth and so far. Okay. Basically, the rule was to beat each segment 5 times in a row without dying. Okay? On Death Incarnate difficulty. Basically, it is the same as Mein Leben. The difference between Death Incarnate and Mein Leben, Death Incarnate allow you to save and to die, okay? But the difficulty of the enemies are the same, and you could take barely 2-3 hits before you die. So the rule was to beat each segment 5 times in a row. Okay? The first 3 levels, the next 3 levels, the next 3 levels after those 3 levels, and so forth and so far. So 5 clean runs, okay? No dying in a row before moving to the next segment. Only once I had done that for every part of the game did I attempt the real thing, you know. My first Mein Leben attempt was pretty much disaster. I died in the first level on the chair, like from the first guys, you know. But I keep trying, and so attempt number 15 or 16 was successful. And it was all of a sudden when I holy crap, it seems that it seems to be that I'm there. So at first it was just a PB. Before I finished my successful run, my PB was the big guy at the last Ausmelter level. And my next PB was basically I made Mein Leben. Okay, so the breakpoint. Around attempt 14-15, something broke in me. Not my hands, you know, not my skill, but my mind. I was in Venice, so you can see here that is hell. When you feel tired and you cannot... Basically, you are realizing that you are so close to winning this game, but also you're realizing that this one of the hardest levels in the game, and this moment one of the heartbreaking and breathtaking moments in the game. I was in Venice, and the second to last section of the game, right? Penultimate section. I had spent nearly 4 hours to get here. 4 hours on your perfect play. Okay? And I keep dying on simple mistakes. That's I'm talking about my general efforts, not about this particular run. So, and I kept dying all the time, you know. Mistakes I had made like thousands, hundreds of times in training, and never made during this particular run. This is one of the hardest points in Venice for me, because I died here dozens of times, and that was my lowest point actually. Not because I doubted my skill and the technical approach, you know. I knew my skill was here, and still here, but I realized I was not mentally ready. Okay? And no amount of practice can fix that actually. And that was the case. So what changed on my last attempt? I stopped trying to beat the game. I know this sounds strange and ridiculous, but I made this decision. I made this strange and out of mind decision. I'm not going to think about finishing the game, okay? I'm not going to think about the trophy, about this platinum, about all this stuff, about the guides, and what comes after, okay? I'm just going to play and enjoy this game. Segment by segment, room by room, step by step. I felt anxiety building, I paused, you know. I took a sip of water, took a short walk, and came back not to reset, just to breathe, you know. I wasn't playing to win. I was playing because I like this game, because I like how I play it, basically. And that shift from outcome to process, that was everything. This particular moment you see on the screen was like one of the random stuff which could kill you and you cannot do anything. That's how it was said and how it was disseminated by a lot of bloggers, a lot of guys from the YouTube. I know they're great because they also beat Mein Leben, but my personal experience here, this section should be good if you shoot this last guy all the time. I never died because of him, never. And I tried to beat this section like maybe 20 times or so. I never died from this last guy on the conveyor belt. That's important to build your strategy and understanding of the gameplay. Okay, so when I reached this Ausmerzer stuff, the final level, I didn't scream, I didn't jump out of my chair, out of my skin, out of my body. I just relaxed and smiled a little bit, at least. Yeah, because something along the way, you know, I had already understood. This was never about the game, and never is. Like, that's important. That's never about us. That's about how we feel the stuff. Okay? Mein Leben is simulation. Hear me out. So, it is a simulation of every hard moment, okay, we could face in our life as well, okay? So, where you feel ready and something still goes wrong, okay, and you try all the time, first attempt, the 5th attempt, the 10th attempt, the 100th, dozen of attempts, And the only real answer to your success, you know about that, that's to keep going, okay? You read a lot of books about this stuff. So here the same secret, basically. Just to keep going, to step up, to not afraid to err, to be a failure, to become a failure, because that's the only way for us to improve ourselves. And the only way to beat the challenges, not just in the games like this, just as I said, they're just a simulation. So here we could at least try once and once again, but in real life we may not have another chance to try one more time. Okay, and that's important because you may have a lot of chances to be successful, but you can lose all of them. By the way, let's see. So here I will fall and almost die here. You see? Those guys almost kill me. And but I'm still going. Without a panic. Everything is good. I don't have any armor. But more or less I'm fine. And in this moment also. So I will kill left guy. And I will kill the right one. I step back because this one will got me eventually if I will be too close to the catwalk. And so I took both these guns and shock hammers, and I will go for the officers. I will kill all of them, but the big guy will appear anyway. Sometimes, if you're really lucky, and I will tell you about this in my separate video, you could kill officers before the big guy will appear, so you will skip the phase with the big guy. But you should be really lucky and you should be really fast. Okay, so the message. Actually, anyone can do that. I genuinely believe that, really. Okay? Not because it's easy, not because you're like the game is easy, but because the only things standing between you and the end of the game and the challenge which you could successfully beat is your mental state and your mind. Because you may build a muscle, you may reinforce your skills, okay? You will train that eventually if you will do enough repetition. But the willingness to keep going after the fifths, after the thousands of attempts, okay? That's a real challenge. That's a real game, okay? Resistance, patience, the will to go till the end. And stand up if you fail, even if it takes you hundreds of times. That's Mein Leben, my life, translated from German. And honestly, that's life too.